Alright, welcome back to this week's Outlook. So this week's Outlook will be covering the 27th to, I think it is about, let's check, I think it's about the 31st of Jan. So with that being said, this week will purely be covering Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, so your major four roughly, and nothing else. We can go over your AI XBT, your altcoins, all these other altcoins in another series that I'll create later on in the week. So if you are keen to hear more about that, just put on that notification or check my Twitter. If you want to ask me any questions or you want me to go over any charts, you can drop that either down below or you can put it in my Twitter, whatever is easiest for you. With that being said, nothing in this video is financial advice. This is just purely my own opinion. This is purely for educational purposes only. This is not financial advice. This is not investment advice. Do your own research, speak to your own financial advisor. And with that being said, let's get into this. Okay, so with today, we're going to start out here on the Bitcoin weekly chart. So as you can see, this week, our chart is obviously just black and white. I just want something a bit more plain. We've been going with the blue and red. We just want something a bit of change, a bit more clarity. This coming week is going to be quite hectic. So where this price closes off in about 4 hours, is going to be very, very vital. If we have a body closure above this key swing here, because remember this is a higher high, this here is the higher low. So if we do have a body closure above it, such as where it is now, if we manage to close right there, this will indicate that this is now a higher high and this is the new higher low, which means that 92,000 is secure. If we break 92,000, we are shifting bearish, and that is not a great sign, especially this early on. I do not see us being there anytime soon. If we come back to our daily, it is looking a bit more cleaner, a bit more complex as well. So especially on the daily, we've kind of gotten to a point now to about this 105, 106 sort of area where price is really struggling to break this. So these dojis were obviously formed over the weekend. You can see every weekend, Saturday, Sunday, you'll probably find dojis, Saturday, Sunday, doji. You'll probably find a whole bunch more over here. But typically on your weekend, because there's very little volume in the market, there's very little institutional order flow, those sort of things, ETF inflows, those sort of things. It is majority just your retail traders involved, so we don't move the markets. We move them slightly. There was also no news this weekend, nothing hectic happening, so there was not much volume this weekend. With that being said, this coming week we have FOMC, and then it's a blackout period, which means we don't have no FOMC meetings until, I could be mistaken, I'm sure it is in March. So whole of February, which is generally very bullish for crypto as a whole, there's no FOMC, so no influence, no monetary policy changes, nothing such as that. So from a technical perspective, we're starting to really slow down around this 105 area. The reason I've put this little arrow here is we've got to see price break up higher than this high here. If we get a body closure above this high, this becomes a higher low, that becomes the higher high. Right now, we know 101, 102, we are secured. This here is currently our higher low. If price breaks below this 101, this small little area here, I should probably expand it out a little bit more, but typically if we get a closure below this point here, it is shifting structure on the daily, because we can see this was our previous structures, our previous high, that was our next high, that was our higher low, we got a higher high, higher low, and then now we are looking to form a higher high, so that then this we can lock in 104 as a higher low. So on a 4 hour, we can see prices really starting to slow down here. So we are obviously very bullish, but you can see that we are really starting to slow down here. This is from about Friday. We had this beautiful push up. I was hoping that this Friday candle would body close above, but unfortunately we got a rejection, and now we've literally just been in a beautiful sort of accumulation, ranging sort of market. We haven't really gone anywhere in this whole big range between 106 and like 101 500. But I'm more focused on this small little area, especially with we're having our 50-day EMA up at this level here, and the price being at this area of interest. If we get a body closure above it with volume, we can see price to come back, retest it, and then body close above this previous high point as well. So hopefully this weekend, with BlackRock saying, or suspiciously saying, that they will be purchasing, I think it's $1.2 billion worth of Bitcoin this upcoming week, that could have a significant move. Again, it is not pure news until it is actually purchased. Other than that, it is just a rumor. So I am honestly hoping that it is true, and that will give us the volume we need to break this 106 and give us that body closure above this area. See, we body closed above it on the retest. We failed to hold it, and we've come back. Failed to hold it, come back. So I'm hoping that now we have a beautiful break up, retest, and then start pushing even high. With that being said, that basically sums up Bitcoin. So for this week, I'm looking for price to still break 106 this week. If we fail to break it and we take out this low here, I will then look for price to come back to 101 and give us another bounce before potentially attempting to re-break it again. On the Ethereum chart, on the weekly, it is looking super clean. I do really like how we've had a beautiful push up, higher high, higher low. Some will count this as a higher low. I need 2 structure points and I need direction to change. So if I just took my arrow, price never changed direction here, it just continued. But then it got here, it changed direction and came down. So that is why I will not classify this one candle as structure on a lower time frame. Yes, it will be structure. On a higher time frame, it will not be structure. So with that being said, a beautiful doji that we formed here, and it looks like we could be forming an inverted bullish hammer. So if this manages to form like this, we could then possibly see this next day possibly work down into this area and then look to fill. Our target area is this 3500. If we can get a body closure above this 3500, I think we'll look really positive for potentially more upside. As you can see here on the daily, we've been in this beautiful accumulation zone. You'll always see when we come to the zone we accumulate, we get a beautiful breakout, a retest or a retest, and continue pushing up. We came back, we used it as a rejection, we accumulated, we had a beautiful break on the retest, we didn't manage to hold the retest. If you go look at our Twitter, I literally guided you through this whole section here. This was over December, just before Christmas. So we had the break. When we came back, we didn't manage to hold the retest, and we unfortunately came straight back through, and then we had a lower high and now shifted. What I do see is a left head, right shoulder forming here, very much what we had basically forming on XRP, just this is not as clean. If you can see that, this is basically what is forming here, that left head, right shoulder. Like I said, if we get that body closure above 3,500, we can get that break and that retest above it, it will look something like this. We can then look to possibly get up to 4,000, and then we'll look for break and retest of 4,000 to continue pushing up to all-time highs. As of this cycle, this is the high. So that is what I'm looking for on XRP. On the downside, I am looking for us to hold this 3,200 level. If we do not manage to hold it, I will need to see price break, retest to confirm that it is broken, and then continue pushing down. If again we just get the break and on the retest we come straight back through, it is not a break and retest, it is not confirmed that we have shifted and that we have lost the support level. Just means that we have gone very deep into it and now we've bounced from it, like we've seen here. We had that bounce, went deep, came up on the retest, didn't retest, came straight back through 3,500, bounce, and now hopefully we can get that beautiful push upwards. That being said, Solana is also again a really beautiful sort of chart. It is a bit messy, but as you can see, we've had this beautiful bullish engulfing on the weekly, engulfed all of this, which I absolutely love. And now this week we are forming a doji, which is totally understandable given it being Trump's inauguration last week and all of that. So the market was just repositioning itself, finding a bit of stability across the board. What is very nice about this is if we can manage, we have obviously taken our all-time highs at about, I think this is about 295, so we didn't hit that 3,000 mark, but we were very close. Come down to a daily. Daily is looking also very clean. You have this sort of triangle forming, ascending triangle. I'm not sure what the exact name is off the top of my head right now. I don't usually draw triangles or any of this. It is just because it is there, and I understand that this is usually an idea that we get given the move from this flagpole, and price forms this beautiful ascending triangle pennant, and we would usually get the break, and the break is usually equal to this flagpole. So what that basically means is we had that beautiful move up, we have price hold this consolidation, and we have that next leg up. So that next leg up is looking at about 340. So I do believe 340 could be a beautiful potential. If we put out our fib, we can possibly double check and see if it does line up with it. If it does, it's an added conflict. Okay, it's gone to 372, so it is a bit further up. As you can see on the fib, we're holding around the 618 level, which, if you understand, is quite significant. I don't personally use fib. I just have it there as a added confluence when I am drawing up charts. So more on this is that we've got into this about 250, 260 area, and we are just forming absolute dojis. We have a dojis everywhere. We have a long-legged doji, we have a rejection hammer, we have another hammer inverted, that forms a doji. We have a long-legged doji, we have another sort of doji, and this looks like we're forming another doji. So this could be a very bullish but yet very bearish sign. It could be a sign that we are beautifully accumulating for this next beautiful run. It could also be a sign that we are looking to possibly retest this double bottom that we had here at about 218, but this will only be confirmed if we take out this low, because as of right now, this is a low, this is the low high. I've got it. The reason this line is here is because if we get a body closure above it, it locks in 244, 240 as the higher low, which means that we would have, if we break, we are shifting structure. So right now I'm paying very close attention to market structure and what we are forming. If price comes all the way back down here, we have not shifted structure, we are still bullish. We are just purely testing this moving average and this double bottom. No significance. It's not the market is crashing scenario, nothing like that. It's just usual. It's just the theory that when we get a double bottom or double top and you get a break, you usually have the retest. We had the break, we haven't had the retest, so it could be a possibility. That is why I have an alert here to just manage. If we do get that dip, I'll be looking to possibly get rid of a soul, or if I am holding soul, get rid of it and repurchase it down at this level. So on a 4 hour, we can see that price is bouncing off this little trend line beautifully, which is also a really good sign. You can see this level doesn't line up here, but again, this is a lower time frame, so the lower time frame typically have a lot more structure, if it makes sense, a lot more noise. So we are currently in the area of interest, consolidating. So the break from here will be our next move. If we get a beautiful break above, that will confirm. If we get a break below, I'm looking for that break retest of here. What I do really like is that this EMA is starting to act like a trend line, and it is holding us up here. Again, if we got that break and that retest, EMA is above it, and we'll look for that push down to 216 or so. So with that being said, that is Solana for this week. I just have to pay close attention with FOMC, with all this high news, to see where do we land up. Do we break? Do we not? Pay close attention. Watch my Twitter. I'll do updates on the daily. I'll be a lot more active on there. I'll be a lot more active on here, creating clarification videos. I'll also do a video on how I draw up charts. I'll do a short market structure video, I'll do a short pattern video, I'll do all of that possibly in this coming week, to just help out people that are just getting started. That being said, hop onto XRP. So XRP also very, very beautiful. We've had a beautiful first leg, a pullback, a beautiful accumulation sort of area, and then we've had that break and that next leg up, and again it looks like we are forming almost the same thing that we are forming on Solana. Just Solana is a little bit more upright compared to XRP. So here, a beautiful major area is this $2.90. Many people think $3 is the major resistance. For me, it's $2.90. We can clearly see it got rejected. We broke up. We came very close to retesting. We retested, and we had that bounce. So the daily, I'm just waiting to see if we can get that beautiful engulfing to push. Again, if we can make this a higher high, it locks in this $2.95, $2.90 low, and then we've got a higher high, higher low. It means that price, if it breaks it, we are now bearish, which is not a good sign. So this has become a very, very more game of market structure and candle closures than anything before. On the 4-hour, you can see how we are starting to accumulate very, very, very nicely here. So we had price have a bounce, and now we are coming back, and we can see price just really starting to slow down. We have the EMA holding it, which is really nice. So I think this will be really significant. Where we break out this week will be significant. If we get a break up and then continue bouncing, it will be that we are now looking to actually take out this 340 high. If we get price just absolutely fall down and price just hesitates a bit and comes back retest, we'll then have the EMA above it, and we'll look for price to come back to 290 as far as about 270. If in the worst case we can see price come back to 270 where this previous structure is. So that being said, that wraps up this video. Hope you enjoyed it. This is Bitcoin, ETH, Solana, and XRP. This is my weekly outlook, and I hope it just provides you a bit more clarity. So with that being said, thank you very much for watching, and follow me on the Twitter. If you don't mind, hit the bell icon there if you want to know about future uploads or anything else I am busy doing on YouTube.